So what are you doing right now?
So we're making Get Your Man chicken. It's not my recipe, it's the Neely from HGTV. First thing you do is get some boneless, skinless chicken thighs. Chicken thighs are key because you stew the chicken down and you need the meat that gets tender. A lot of people love chicken breast, all the rage, but chicken thighs you need because you stew it down to get real tender. So come over here, iPad man. You brown your chicken. You don't get it done, you're just simply browning it because again you're going to stew it down where it will continue to cook. So you brown your chicken thighs.
Is that garlic? That's not garlic. That's,
no, it's simply chicken thighs with some salt and pepper on it. And it's always important to put salt and pepper on the meat because you layer your seasonings in. So once you do that, then what you do, here's the fun part, here's what I really like, is putting in some sliced onion. I do about a little, maybe over half of an onion. I don't think you're a big onion lover, so I try not to do too many onions. But onion really does flavor food really, really well. So we saute the onion. In the oil, you saute, you initially put in your chicken breast and about 2 tablespoons of olive oil, the good healthy oil for you. And once you take the chicken thighs up, again, you're putting in the onion. I do about half of a medium onion, slice it real thin, and just let it cook in there for about 2 or 3 minutes, just so the onions get tender. And what we're going to do is follow that up with a half a cup of wine and some chicken broth. Half a cup of white wine, generally like a dry wine. I use like a Sauvignon Blanc. Don't know if I'm saying that correctly. Don't know any French.
Sauvignon Blanc.
But that's what I do.
I'm an Italian, so I know these things.
Sauvignon Blanc is French.
Oh yeah, well you know, French, Italian, European, same thing.
So you can see how those onions are getting a little crystallized in there. I got just a few more over here, so I'm just going to go ahead. Not the big chunks. Let's put these other ones.
When do you add your rosemary? I see you got rosemary over there.
We add the rosemary, and once we add in our crushed tomatoes. But right now we're really just kind of building the basis of the seasoning of the Get Your Man chicken sauce. These onions are key. And you see here, see this brown, the brownings, that's the good stuff, Because when I pour in the wine and the chicken broth, it's going to make that come to life.
Do you normally take a sip of that wine before you...
I do sometimes. Very much I do. But, you know, now that I poured it in a measuring cup, it doesn't quite taste the same out of a measuring cup to me. So you take a little...
You just bougie, that's all. I normally drink mine out of a paper cup.
Okay, so you see how those onions, they're tender now. And here's the good part. Here's my favorite part. We got a little... Let me see how much oil do I have on here, if I want to drain. Now I can drain some of this oil off, which I think I will, because we're fairly health conscious in the Anachi household.
But it's OV.
It's EVOO.
EVOO, but it's, you know.
It's EVOO along with oil from the chicken thighs. And chicken thighs tend to be a little bit fatty. So it's not just... So let's drain some of that off. You'll thank me later.
All I know is it's delicious, very delicious meal. One of my favorite.
Okay. So that's good. Now what we're going to do, again, here's my favorite part. Favorite, absolute favorite. pour in the wine. Hear that?
That's a half cup of Chardonnay.
Are you getting that, Sheila?
Yeah, Sheila's got it. Oh, by the way, Sheila is the name of the iPad.
Then you scrape up the goodies down here.
We tend to name everything around this house. Jan's old car was named Baby Girl.
But her new car is Bluebell.
Bluebell is the new car.
And she's a very pretty blue, and that's Belle, B-E-L-L-E. Sometimes she's Bella, but most times she's Bluebell.
Now, what's this in this measuring cup here? Is this also wine?
No, that is chicken broth.
The chicken broth.
Mm-hmm. So now, if you see, look, come closer, Sheila. I've gotten up all of the chicken brownings from the bottom. Isn't that lovely?
That is.
So some people, the recipe asks you to pour in the wine and the chicken stock at the same time. I prefer to pour in the wine first and just really let that wine flavor get layered in there. And then I add in my chicken broth. And we turn it up high and let it cook down. And this what we're doing is good for like around 6 to 7 boneless and skinless chicken thighs. I've tried it with, depending on sometimes when you go to the grocery store, they may not have boneless, so you can buy regular chicken thighs, but just pull the skin off. I don't know how to debone chicken thigh, so I think maybe one time cooked it in. It didn't make or break the recipe, but it's just a little bit nicer having the boneless version. So you turn this up high and let it cook down. Let it boil, cook down. Now that chicken, it will kind of splatter on you a little bit. So I always have my little trusty chicken splatter, my little oil splatter thing here when I'm browning the chicken. Keep your kitchen clean as you go, people. And so what we're going to do next, let's bring this up. This particular burner will get as hot as fast as the other one. Oh, but in this pot, you guys, at the same time, cooking some collards.
Yummy.
We don't use pork around here. No, 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 no. Chicken stock, all onions, and garlic is the basis. What we do, I do put some turkey bacon in. And I tend to do that just sometimes. People are so accustomed to some type of meat being in their greens. So that was a little chipotle pepper that I had there. But hubby here is not a big fan of anything spicy, so I don't want it to be in there too long. Put a little salt in our greens.
That's the old measuring cup, or measuring system.
You're supposed to put some behind you for good luck, but I don't want to slip sliding on the floor. Okay, back to our Get Your Man chicken. Okay, we're boiling now. We just need to cook it down. And what we're going to do next is, once that cooks down, already have your next spices kind of lined up here. This is not the best brand of lemon pepper seasoning. Let's remember to put that on the grocery list, please, because I'm down to the last little bit. But what we're going to do, once our mixture of wine and chicken broth boils down, we're going to add in our crushed tomatoes, 1 can of crushed tomatoes, a 14.5-ounce can. And we're going to put in a tablespoon of lemon pepper seasoning and rosemary. Now, can you do dried rosemary? Of course you can. But does Jan love fresh rosemary? Yes, she does. Show you how much she loves it. Fresh rosemary